What's up, everybody? It's your boy Corey, KGQ back from another reaction video. Back. Meant to post some more videos this week, but once again, got caught up with something. This one is definitely a lot more related to my side hustle. I had to focus on finding another better side hustle, which I finally managed to do. Because the other one, I'm just say, working physical labor hours and basically for small pay, this one less more. And if it's only 1 day a week and part time, that ain't gonna work. So okay, I managed to find a job that works. I'm gonna say more days, but less stressful, less more demand, physical demand, and more money as well too. So yeah, actually better place right now. But anyway, neither here nor there. This is Death Battle. Finally, Cell versus Metal Sonic, Dragon Ball versus Sonic Hedgehog series. So haven't decided yet. Might make a decision in this video, but anyway, let's dive on into it. Already cheered down, everything looks good. You already know special question. I'll comment below. Let me know what you want to react to. Let's get it. I was still shocked they announced this.
Versus Metal Sonic, which copycat android is truly the superior model.
I don't know why sometimes keep getting Cell's android.
Weapons, armor, and
He's
skills
unique
to find out who
android.
would win a death battle. There's a monster stalking Gingertown. No one who's seen it has lived to tell the tale. All it left behind was their clothes. Something ate these people's insides, leaving only a shadow behind. Some kind of creature driven only by the need to feed. Earth's new apex predator, the ultimate life form. The Namekian Piccolo went to investigate this manslayer and discovered that it was intelligent. Its tail could unravel to absorb its hapless victims and add their energy to its wretched gestalt. But the nightmare was only just beginning, because for its last trick, somehow this freak of nature knew the Kamehameha. The mystery of this creature's origin was decades in the making. Years ago, the world was terrorized by the most advanced paramilitary organization in history, the Red Ribbon Army. Until they got rocked by this little Kung Fu gremlin, Son Goku. But Red Ribbon's dream of revenge lived on within their head scientist, Dr. Gero. Hiding away in his spooky cave laboratory, Gero would go to work studying the Z fighters from afar, learning everything there was to know about them, and building a series of androids that would destroy his spiky-haired nemesis once and for all. He made a ton of them: infinite energy androids, key-absorbing androids, trucker head androids, and even ginger androids. However, none of Gero's creations were capable of matching that drive to improve that Goku and his fellow martial artists possessed. Luckily, he had one more android left. A cute little booger so complex he'd take years after Gero's death to complete. Its name was Cell. Born from a single cell, get it? This android possessed the genetic information of all the greatest warriors that had battled on Earth, and when fully evolved, would become unstoppable.
7 feet, yeah. I knew Cell was tall. Dang.
All their powers and techniques too. Common among all of them is the power to manipulate ki, or the energy that exists in all living things, and weaponize it to fire energy blasts, fly at faster than light speeds, move things with telekinesis, and create force fields. From the humans, Krillin and Tien, Cell knows the multiform technique, Destructo Disc, and the
That's Frieza's Tien's on that. That wasn't Destructo Disc.
Weird, I'm not seeing Chaozu on this list. Sorry, bud. Is Chaozu human? Oh.
I always wondered about that. What is Chaozu
as
actually?
well as breathe in and travel through
That was Frieza. Yeah, Frieza last time when he was on Goku during the Namek saga.
Piccolo's DNA, Cell can regenerate humongous damage to his body at the cost of some ki. Cell has survived having half his body vaporized multiple times, and cannot be destroyed unless the small cluster of cells at the core of his being is eradicated. Should that little bugger survive, Cell will always return.
As his nucleus is still intact, he
because
can
of the
come back.
Saiyan DNA he got from Goku and Vegeta. Definitely the cream of the genetic crop. Sure, he can perfectly replicate attacks like the Gallic Gun, Spirit Bomb, and of course Kamehameha, as well as teleport by locking onto a living being's key signature. But the best part of being a Saiyan is
knowledge from Goku.
Stronger they get every time they almost die. They can even evolve to become orders of magnitude stronger in the midst of battle. Combine that with Cell's healing factor, and he is effectively the ultimate warrior.
Like a perpetual shonen motion machine.
Driven by a biological imperative, Cell wanted nothing more than to devour Giro's previous androids, 17 and 18, believing
He
it
let
would
the
make
recording.
him perfect.
Only one problem. The Cell we know was born in the future, and both 17 and 18 had been destroyed. So he murdered Trunks and went back in time. Not
Yeah,
our
couldn't
Trunks,
fit.
future Trunks. Well, not future Trunks, but another future
Yeah.
Trunks. It's very complicated. There's like 5 timelines.
As Cell defeated and absorbed
They didn't show that
he
scene, him
evolved,
wrapping his
not
tail
only getting
around the neck
stronger,
then when
but
I was a
changing his
kid.
personality and developing a lust for battle.
He became less creepy bug serial killer and more, well, Saiyan. After exploiting that very Saiyan arrogance and warrior's pride, Cell finally became perfect.
And easily dominated Trunks and Vegeta, the latter of whom had decades of battle experience under his belt.
Perfect Cell's power was off the charts. He could threaten the whole Earth just by powering up. With a full power Kamehameha, he was even capable of destroying our entire solar system.
While the vast majority of our solar system's mass is located in the sun, this still means that Cell's Ki wave would have to reach 2.8 billion miles to eradicate every planet.
But Wiz, maybe he was just exaggerating.
Not likely. Cell's claim has been backed up in multiple guidebooks and even demonstrated outright in the video games.
Cell's even stronger in the anime adaptation, considering the time Frieza blew up Namek. In the anime, the explosion was literally hundreds of light years wide and lit up the friggin' galaxy.
And Cell was far stronger than Frieza was at that point in time.
Hell, the Namekians
Yeah.
could sense him all the way from a different galaxy and thought he might be a threat to the whole universe.
He's also incredibly fast, capable of blitzing even the strongest Z fighters at the time. Goku flew from Grand Kai's planet of heaven all the way to Hell, hundreds of billions
Yeah.
of light years in
Oh
half
yeah,
a
Krillin
minute.
did
And
use
that
the
was in his
structural
base
disc
form.
on him,
Yeah,
but
that's cool.
it really
but how
had,
about the
he
power
really
to
had
squeeze
no
mini
effect
Cell
on him
Juniors
at
out of your
all.
butt? What? Never heard of that key technique? Call it the Kegel.
Perfect Cell was entirely without peer and, no longer wedded to Giro's petty grudge, decided to prove it with a tournament.
The Cell Games! And if Goku couldn't even beat him, what hope did anyone else have? Vegeta couldn't even handle a Cell Jr.
Their last hope was Goku's own son, Gohan.
After Cell arrogantly let him power up, Gohan unleashed his rage, pushed the bug monster to his absolute limits, and beat him. Wow, Cell, you really are related to Vegeta, aren't you?
In truth, Cell was a victim of his own success. The same Saiyan genes that made him all-powerful also sowed the seeds of his defeat.
He got
Taste
being
our
born
world.
with the
Celestial
cells of
Seasonings
the
Tea.
old Vegeta's
Parents of
personality,
children who play
and Frieza
Roblox.
caused the
If your
arrogance.
child was sexually exploited, abused,
He got
Ate
so
his
mad
ass.
he even blew himself up. Maybe he does have some Chaozu in him after all.
Even that wasn't enough to totally put him down, and he came back with the same Super Saiyan power-up that Gohan had just
Yeah,
unlocked.
super perfect cell.
Perfect Cell.
It's pretty much the
Now,
same
more
look,
lightning.
pretty much
In a
as compared
battle
to
for
Super
the
Saiyan
ages,
2,
Cell
it
put
is.
the entire weight of his biological programming against one lone Saiyan and went the distance.
But in the end, it still wasn't enough. No matter how brilliantly Dr. Gero copied the Z-Fighters, he still couldn't quite figure out their knack for going beyond.
What can be destroyed can always be rebuilt. All it takes to recreate the most fearsome warrior in the universe is one single cell.
Yep.
Hey, real quick, did you know Death Metal launched our own tabletop gaming channel? It's called The Nightly Brew. We're doing Dungeons and Dragons, Blood on the Clock Tower, and a bunch of other stuff. I'd love if you could check it out. We just
Skip
finished our...
over this and ready for the fight.
Face. I was like, everybody dies. It's the hardest thing. And I was like, we've got this. With all of my being.
There we go.
Time and again, the world and its cuddly forest critters were threatened by the evil and oval Dr. Ivo Eggman Robotnik.
And time and again, that same world and those same critters were saved by Sonic the
I
Hedgehog.
always wondered when I was a kid
No matter how
how
many
he
robotic
got
bandits
those
the good
small
doctor
little
threw
animals
at his
in those
blue spiky
robots.
nemesis, his schemes were always 6 spin jumps to the glowing weak spot away from getting cracked and scrambled.
But it wouldn't be over easy for Eggman. If he couldn't defeat the Blue Blur, he would make his own, Metal Sonic.
Well, 0 points on creativity for that name, but goddamn, he does look metal as hell.
They say imitation
Hey,
is the
sons.
sincerest form of flattery, so Eggman built Metal with more than enough blast
3 feet
processing to
3.
match his prototype.
Metal can
Yeah,
zoom around at
weigh on
massively
276
hypersonic
pounds.
speeds, fast enough to fly to nearby planets in
Yeah, he's
seconds.
metal.
He's tougher than Eggman's standard equipment, some of which can survive black holes.
Metal can use all of Sonic's power-ups, and even replicate his classic spin dash and light speed attack.
But he's got moves of his own.
He can attack with energy blast, fire a chest laser, surround himself in an electric aura, or an impenetrable force field.
By overloading his circuitry with energy, Metal can activate V maximum overdrive, quadrupling his acceleration and obliterating anything in his path, at the risk of self-destructing.
You'd think all that'd be enough to turn the rodent into roadkill, but it only
I keep
took
forgetting
one showdown on
Jaleel White,
Stardust Speedway
aka
to send Metal
pretty
to
Steve
the scrap
Urkel
heap.
voice
On
Sonic
paper,
originally
Metal
back in
should
the
be
day.
able to outmatch Sonic in every way, and yet he doesn't. For some reason, Eggman wasn't able to capture that ineffable quality that makes Sonic the fastest thing alive. Metal's defeats at the hands of Sonic and his friends sharpened his AI into a seething hatred of his rival and a burning desire to prove himself superior.
Yeah, well, when you're getting your supersized red ass handed to you by Charmy B, you know something's gone horribly wrong.
Metal's defeats gave him an existential crisis. If he was created to surpass Sonic and couldn't even manage that, what was he? Why
Started
should he
to
exist?
have his own.
Never
Started
one to
thinking.
admit defeat, Eggman took Metal back to the drawing board and birthed him anew. You,
This Neo Metal Sonic was, above all, far smarter.
Yeah.
especially after he copied Eggman's intelligence and took over his
Sonic
empire. And we
Heroes.
mean literally copied. If Metal started as Sonic's copycat, why not hunt all of his furry friends down and copy them too?
Neo Metal Sonic is equipped with scanners in his optic receptors that can copy a person's biodata, giving him the ability to recreate all of their abilities in seconds.
Like the Sonic Boom, Knuckles' Hammer Punch, Tails' magical swiveling asshole, and Big's ability to suck at fishing.
Metal isn't just learning their moves, he can replicate more esoteric powers like Silver Psychokinesis, manufacture Rouge's mechanical bat guards, or alter his very biology to copy Espio's chameleon invisibility.
He copied
It's
some of
worth
Shadow's
mentioning that
abilities
biological
well,
data
too.
is a real scientific term and can refer to molecular structures like the genome sequence within a living organism's DNA.
Yeah, his copying is so busted, it doesn't really matter that he's a robot made of metal. If you can do it, so can he. Probably helps that he can shapeshift and regenerate his whole body from a puddle.
Likely by copying one of the mightiest beings on the planet, the god of
Chaos.
destruction.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Chaos.
that.
Not the only chaos
Sonic
he's
Adventure.
encountered.
By scanning the ultimate life form, Shadow the Hedgehog, he gained his ability to manipulate some of the most powerful artifacts in the universe.
You mean the Chaos Emeralds?
Yes, the emeralds contain an infinite wellspring of mystical power and life energy. With them, Metal can perform Shadow's chaos control. He can teleport, warp, and distort space, boost his speed, and stop time. And with either the Chaos Emeralds or Master Emerald, he can transform into Super Neo Metal Sonic.
Completely invulnerable and completely golden. Super Neo.
Oh, these ads.
Taxes was so taxing.
Super Neo Metal Sonic can move at faster than light speeds and has the power to move continents.
The emeralds are inconceivably powerful. They've been used to fuel Eggman's Death Egg, which could obliterate star systems.
On their own, they can even create and destroy whole universes.
Other super characters like Sonic have battled and defeated beings like the Time Eater, who could destroy multiple dimensions and timelines in seconds. At their peak, 3 super hedgehogs have even fought Solaris, who nearly consumed Sonic's entire multiverse.
So Super Neo Metal Sonic should be just as powerful as any of them. Though he's gotta be quick, because all that power only lasts a short time.
The road to total domination was nearly at an end. After manipulating Sonic and friends and copying their abilities, Metal eventually combined their biodata with the mighty Egg Fleet
Metal
and became
Overlord.
Metal Overlord.
Complete with missiles, giant crystal projectiles, and the strength to match 3 supersonic heroes all by himself, Overlord is all-time final boss material.
It was a pain in the butt to get all the Chaos Emeralds after you beat
Metal's drive
all
to surpass his
the
rival had
teams.
morphed
You
into
gotta
the
collect all
delusional
Chaos
belief
Emeralds to
that
unlock
he was
it.
the original, and Sonic the loathsome copy.
A copy that Metal had finally outclassed. All the heroes Metal had gathered had to team up to take him down.
He may have stolen their abilities, but Metal
he'd be
never
able to
possessed
turn
the
back
thing
to his
that made the
original
Sonic
self.
heroes successful: their friendship and teamwork.
Aw, how cute! Gag. Probably should have added some of those goddamn rails to the final boss fight, because it is impossible to land on those things.
I had no trouble landing. I beat the game.
Eggman reprogrammed Metal to purge any bits of rebelliousness from his code.
Metal returned to being the Eggman Army's chief enforcer, always proving invaluable as the Bad Doctor's greatest creation, now completely obedient once again.
I don't know, Wiz. Who knows what's really going on behind those glowing red eyes? Maybe Metal is more cunning than he lets on, and is only biding his time until he can take over again.
Maybe the most powerful thing that Metal copied was the ability to lie.
Hey, I'm Chad, the voice of Boomstick. And if you don't believe me, well, what about now? That's what I thought. Look, the matchup is about to begin, and we can't have a pitch. So we want to give each pitch the time it needs. So quantity is limited, so you better make sure you check out the Death Battle Retro Tee. It's a shirt we made like fight. I know you want to see it, and Boomstick wants to see one of these copies. We want to hear your pitches. Thanks.
Okay, I made my decision. I'm being neutral in this fight. I'm sorry. I wanted to pick a side so bad, but yeah, I might pick my belief who's gonna win during the fight. But let's get it.
Salutations, Dr. Robotnik. Your reputation precedes
Dude, look, I ain't gonna lie. I used to love this theme song back in the day with Cell.
Or face. Then prepare to kneel before your master. Perfect.
Special beam cannon. Yeah, Metal. This is different from Sonic.
Tell me, does a machine like yourself ever experience fear? Not anymore.
Metal Overlord.
You're dealing with the ultimate life form. I already possess this data. Observe.
He won't.
Chaos.
Oh man.
Life form data successfully copied. Scum. It'll take more than that to kill me.
He hit him with the regenerate arm.
I know. Now I know everything about you, insect.
You know, his android. He reminds you of Insect. Cell Juniors. Oh yeah, you copy Cell some abilities. Oh yeah, I remember TN used that move on Cell. Keep him back after he's on Android 17. Super perfect Cell.
Just the greatest warrior in the universe. I am all of them. If you are all of them, then so am I. I'll never lose to a machine.
Oh, looks like Metal guy. man.
You.
Good fight.
KO! So, now Metal's got all the powers of the Chaos Emeralds and the Z Fighters? Well, that world's fucked. Our bad.
Cell may have been one of the greatest threats in Dragon Ball Z, but Eggman's greatest creation ultimately proved
Yeah,
too
when
much
say
for
he
him.
copied,
Let's
he
break
said he
this down
copied all
into
his
4
abilities.
categories:
Yeah, I
strength,
think it was
speed,
a rap.
abilities, and adaptation.
First up, who was the strongest? Well, it's no surprise that any version
Yeah.
of Cell was gonna be way more powerful than base Metal or Neo. Even just using the manga, blowing up a solar system is far beyond the level of power output Metal can match.
Without his stronger forms. With them, the power gap entirely reversed. Not only could Metal match Cell's solar system busting or scaling from Frieza, but he could surpass it with the universe-destroying power of the Emeralds.
But hang on, Wiz. Those Namekians said that Cell was strong enough to threaten a universe on his own.
They did, but they didn't specify how, and there's nothing suggesting he could destroy it in one go, especially since it's only brought up theoretically and without any time frame.
Even being generous and assuming he could just blow it up, final bosses like Time Eater
Yeah.
and Solaris can destroy the wider multiverse, and Super Neo Metal would scale to them. Metal Sonic takes the edge in strength.
And with Sonic characters being known for their speed, you might think that was an easy win for Metal.
At his max speed in his super form, he should be comparable to entities like the Time Eater, who in Shadow Generations can destroy entire universes in seconds. By using the radius of the observable universe, we can estimate the Time Eater's destructive wave traveled at about 180
math.
quadrillion times faster than light.
Certainly impressive, but let's compare that to Goku's flight from heaven to hell shortly after the Cell games, which covered roughly a universe in distance at approximately 180 quadrillion
Come
times
on, why are
faster
you
than
showing
light.
ass
Hey,
in
just
this?
like
You are trapped by a meaningless duty that was never yours. A path already.
Just like Time Eater. The difference, though, was that Goku was in his base form, way slower than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan or Super Perfect Cell.
Factoring in Super Saiyan multipliers, Super Perfect Cell can move upwards of 100 times faster than that, and so 100 times faster than Metal Sonic. Somehow, Cell takes the edge in speed. You know, the thing Metal was designed for.
Wasn't expecting that. Let's see if any of their abilities could tip the scales.
They shared many of the same powers, like telekinesis, force fields, and energy projectiles. Of note though, Cell's regeneration was clearly superior, able to fully heal from a single cluster of microscopic cells.
On top of that, Cell's Saiyan genes would let him grow in power every time he almost died, and his Cell Juniors gave him the numbers advantage.
And considering Super Neo Metal had a time limit, Cell would have a big advantage in a battle of attrition.
But with Chaos Control, that became a lot tougher.
Cell and his juniors had no way to deal with Metal boosting his speed or stopping time, something that
Yeah.
countered Cell's speed advantage and left him open. And with Silver's psychokinesis, or the Emerald spatial distortion, Metal could seriously impair Cell's healing.
So it helped that Cell could fall back on his martial arts abilities in a pinch.
Despite effectively being a newborn, Cell's genetic instincts allowed him to best Earth's most skilled warriors back to back to back.
Metal may have copied Eggman's brains, but he definitely isn't as good of a fighter. The Sonic heroes haven't trained like the Z fighters, and Metal's been beaten by all of them a bunch of times. So all that in mind, abilities is roughly a wash.
Which leaves us with the one thing they're both known for, their capability to evolve and become more powerful in response to their opponents, aka their adaptation.
And frankly, that's where this back and forth completely breaks. Because at the end of the day, Metal can
True.
copy Cell, but Cell can't absorb Metal.
Cell's ability to physically absorb an opponent is primarily viable against foes he can match or overpower.
Even if he took Metal by surprise, he can't absorb
can't.
fully inorganic robots like Android 16.
Cell was only able to absorb
They were,
Android
yeah.
17 and 18 because they were
Yeah.
primarily organic.
They're actually more like
It's
cyborgs
true.
and are only called
They were
androids.
still,
in the
they were
English
still telling more,
translation.
Metal,
more
on the other
human
hand, can
compared
copy a
to the
target's
others.
biodata through only a few seconds of direct eyesight, something he could easily accomplish during a time stop.
And using it on Cell means he wouldn't just get Cell's powers, but the powers of all of the Z Warriors too.
Remember, Metal's copying applies to abilities that fundamentally affect his own biology, like Espio's invincibility
That's why
or
they
Chaos's
were
living body.
in a way
Nothing Cell
reproduced,
has would
like
be off limits.
18, had a
especially given that all
child
of
with
Cell's
Krillin.
powers were
So, yeah.
genetically encoded in
She
the
was a
first
truly-
place, quite literally biodata.
Cell's Saiyan power-ups? Copied. Cell's regeneration? Copied. Cell's key techniques? Believe it or not, Copied.
Chaos Emeralds are described as being able to produce life energy, similar to Ki. So there's a precedent for him being able to replicate Cell's power set. And at this point, there's nothing stopping Metal from, say, stopping time and using a Kamehameha to vaporize him at a cellular level. Just like Gohan did.
Cell might be able to do anything the Z Fighters know how to do, but that's not gonna help him, cause Metal can do anything Cell knows how to do. Strange, isn't it?
Cell just doesn't have any options to retaliate that Metal wouldn't also possess, including any of his previous advantages. Metal's copy ability is just that overpowered.
Oh, I guess now I get why they called it Sonic CD.
Why's that?
Cell died.
That was lame, bro.
Wiz, you get it? CD? Wiz?
All right, who's next?
Come on back. Next time on Death Battle.
Is that? Oh man. Really? Bakugo versus Riz?
Subscribe and join us.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't want to be biased and go for sure for Bakugo because I liked them in the anime. But anyway, be optimistic about it. I want to wait till the fight drops. Okay, pretty cool fight, y'all. Drop a comment. Let me know who you think. Are you happy with the outcome? Me, I enjoyed the fight. So yeah, the fact, I'm just reading what the comments say. The set, I knew this when he copied Cell's abilities. Yeah, this not gonna be easy fight. It said full when he copied alternate life form being, and then you referring to shadows, and now I copy your abilities as well. To means this ain't gonna end well for you. But anyway, let me know what you think of the fight. You happy, satisfied outcome? You more excited for this fight? Wait, make sure your boy like, comment, and subscribe. Fantastic day. Peace.